against the motion. Salman al-Ansari, he's an independent Saudi political analyst and the founder of the Washington, D.C.-based Saudi American Public Relations Affairs. Salman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lise. And hello, everyone. And thank you for joining today from your very busy schedules, I'm sure. This is a strange time, and it's a pity that this debate has been moved online due to COVID-19. But I can tell you that my mom, at least, is thrilled with it being this way. Let me explain. 2 years ago, I was almost killed for speaking like I am today. I was invited to talk at the biggest Iranian government opposition gathering of 25,000 people in Paris in solidarity with the Iranian people. Before I left to travel to France, however, my mom had pleaded with me not to go. She was concerned about my outspoken involvement against the Iranian regime. You know, this is something with all moms. No matter what your age is, they always worry. So I told her, come on, Mom, the Iranian regime wouldn't dare do something in Paris. I'll be safe there. It's France. So I went as planned. I delivered my speech. It all went smoothly. But afterwards, on my way back to the hotel, online is where it all blew up. No pun intended. Ping, 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 BBC, Reuters, AFP, all popped up onto my phone with the headline, EU intelligence intercepts a terrorist bombing on an Iranian rally in France. What? That was the rally I had just been at. The French government 2 years ago, later came out stating that the Iranian intelligence ministry was behind the plot. An Iranian diplomat and Iranian terrorist were detained. They had half a kg of explosives and a detonator in them. Can you imagine the sheer atrocity? The learned lesson, never underestimate your mom's intuition. Putting my personal story aside, let's break down the motion which says Iran is not our enemy. Not to be pedantic, but the definition of enemy itself from the Latin inimicus is simply not a friend, while the Oxford Dictionary defines enemy as a person or nation who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. So I'm not being harsh or irrational here. Last year, according to Reuters, Iran killed 1,500 of their own citizens and injured thousands, with 7,000 people detained. This was just last year. Why? Their crime was that they were protesting because they are starving. 40% of the Iranian population is currently under the absolute poverty line. They are starving to death. Despite this, Iran squanders $16 billion every year supporting terrorist groups, including Hezbollah, according to the FDD. Hezbollah is the world's most heavily armed non-state actor with estimates of 130,000 rockets and missiles and up to 65,000 fighters, according to the Iranian Fars news agency, an Iranian government-controlled media, by the way. You know, just like you never have to ask a vegan if they are vegan because they will always say it themselves. No offense, vegans, I really like you. The Iranian regime is just the same, but with their terrorist activities. Most of the world's nations consider Hezbollah with its military wing a terrorist organization, including the UK and Germany just this year. They boast about their suicide bombings, hostage crises, embassy attacks, and flight hijacks with all of the statistics of how many thousands of innocent people had been murdered in cold blood over the years. And it's not just Iran's funded militias that are wreaking havoc. The Iranian regime itself has overtly attacked many embassies in Tehran, including the British embassy in November 2011. Look, nobody wants to start a war here, but it's the rest of the world that is on the receiving end of Iran's warfare, aggression, terrorism, and bloodshed. A simple question, friend or enemy? In 2015, Iran signed a nuclear deal with the US in exchange for $150 billion and lifted sanctions. What did they do with this money? No. They did not invest it into building a more stable nation for their people. No. They did not build hospitals or schools. Instead, they channeled the money towards their terror networks around the globe. So the million-dollar question, or rather the billion-dollar question, why did Iran do this though? Expansionism is their priority. Compared to Hitler, Ali Khamenei, the current supreme leader, or what I call the current extreme leader of Iran, is the only one who calls the shots for the entire country. There's no concept of moderates and hardliners in Iran. His expansionist ideology stems from the Islamic Republic of Iran's constitution that actually states that they must, and I quote, expand the sovereignty of God's law throughout the world. This government has ballistic missiles and is currently progressing their nuclear powers. Nobody knew what Hitler was capable of before he committed his catastrophic atrocities. Friend or enemy? Now, before I finish up, I want you to guess who said this comment. I quote, Iran is a state sponsor of terrorism. This was said in 2015. It wasn't by Donald J. Trump. It was Barack Hussein Obama. So there's no argument here. If we believe that Iran is not our enemy, then we need to revise our definition of the word enemy in the dictionary. And we need to seriously reevaluate what we believe to be right and wrong. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, and by the way, my mom says hi to everybody.